Okay, so I chose acid rain for my assignment, and without further ado, let's get started. So some simple background of acid rain was it was first recognized in 1872 by scientist Robert Angus Smith, 100 years after Industrial Revolution. As some of you might have not known, acid rain can also include snow and sleet, and they all have a pH of less than 5.6. Acid rain is almost always produced by human activities that produce higher than normal levels of nitric and sulfuric acid in the air. These levels can be risen by burning fossil fuels such as coal, oil, and gas. The simple process of acid rain is polluting gases rise into the air and accumulate in the clouds. In the atmosphere, nitrogen and sulfur oxides in the pollution are converted into nitric and sulfur acids, which then bond to raindrops and form acid rain. But the clouds holding the acid rain can travel hundreds, even thousands of miles before the rain is finally released and starts to fall, which I found to be very surprising because I thought as soon as they'd bond, they'd fall right away. Good to know. And for those of you visual learners out there, the picture there shows in visual how the process of acid rain goes. Some of the effects and places of acid rain are places of acid rain. In 1980, most of Mississippi and southeastern Canada were having acidic rainfalls. Acid rain also falls in the west, but the problem isn't as severe. Acid rain in places like Los Angeles and California are mostly caused by car and truck emissions. Some effects of acid rains are trees, lakes, animals, and buildings are all susceptible to the chemical damage and corrosive effect of acid rain. As you can see to the right, that's what, in the picture of the leaves, the leaf on the left is a perfectly good leaf, and the leaf on the right is what has had acid rain fall on top of it. And the picture below that used to be a gargoyle until experienced acid rain, and as you can see, kind of corroded and lost its shape. So here we go. The most important thing I learned about this article is the process of acid rain, the effects and places it occurs. But the most important thing I learned, which I found to be very surprising, is when acid rain falls, becomes too acidic, pH of 2.4. So for acid rain, the pH gets stronger as the pH gets lower. It falls into the lakes, and freshwater organisms cannot survive, which in turn contributes to the decline of larger fish and ultimately the freshwater food chain. Which is, if you think about it, a very big thing, because if it's falling into like oceans or like very important lakes next to where community's only source of fish is in that lake, the fish get poisoned by the acidic rain, which can then make the people get poisoned. It's like a domino effect. I chose this article for my assignment because throughout all my years in junior science classes, acid rain was just mentioned as a side note to the unit we were currently working on. Basically, it was like a cause and effect sort of thing. So when I looked on the bit.ly database and saw acid rain there, I thought of it as the perfect opportunity to learn how the rain is made, background of acid rain, and some effects of acid rain. And at the same time, I'm able to teach the class about something that has made me a little more cautious when it's raining and going outside, and something that I found to be interesting. Here's the bibliography where I found my article. On the source citation is like the authors and who wrote it, and then obviously underneath is a URL where you can find it. Thank you for listening, and I hope you have learned something.